Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to another day of our E3 review. This is Ian here, and of course, spending some time checking out to see what we have after the big announcements, or supposedly all the big announcements have gone down. If you were listening to some of our other shows and what Chris and I were talking about, really, E3 has been really front-loaded this year. We had Sony conference already, we had Microsoft conference, we had Nintendo conference. And of course, Ubisoft and a lot of the other big publishers really putting all this content out there first, getting a chance to get everybody on the show floor and check out the demos for it, and get some more details from the dev hands themselves. I spent the majority of my time today checking out the Rooster Teeth live stream that I really had a really good panel of guests come on. Really enjoyed it. They ranged anywhere from sports gaming all the way to adventure gaming, and of course, we've got some updates on the long-awaited Soul Calibur 6. In fact, I want to kick off with just that. So, finally, we have it. We have a release date for Soul Calibur 6. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC October 19th of this year. Now, this date was given to us alongside a new story trailer that we had that gave us a cool look at the collector's editions we should be expecting and the deluxe edition. So there's going to be two. Again, the deluxe edition itself, that's going to be priced at about $100 on the head, $99.99. This includes a copy of the game, of course, a season pass that gets you 3 new characters and 2 new armor packs, a soundtrack, and then a metal case that's got a built-in sound box that features 4 of the actual in-game voiceover audio clips. Now, if you want to bump that up for another $50, you can get the collector's edition. That gives you not only a copy of the game, but a 12-inch statue of Sophia, an OST, and of course the metal case that I just mentioned a moment ago with the 4 voiceovers, and a 120-page art book. All this is contained in that collector's edition. So, and I'm a fan of art books. I always love direction. Seeing where some of the early design went. I know I've got a few of these for Capcom titles. I picked up one for Asura's Wrath a few years ago at PAX. I really like that. I picked up one for the first FF14 expansion. That was well worth it. And I know I have one from Street Fighter Anniversary too. So cool stuff. I don't have really where to put a statue, so I don't know what happened with that. But the art book's really cool, and I don't know, maybe I can find that solo somewhere. So, but yeah, again, just about some of the characters we're looking at here. As we talked about on our show before, we got the Witcher 3's Geralt. That's going to be one of our big guest appearances. Pretty awesome. And some of the others we saw in the trailer included Ivy, Salamel, Mitsurugi, Nightmare, Sophia, and of course, massive sword wielder Siegfried. So, love it. The pre-order for all this is up for standard, deluxe, and collector's edition, whatever you want to pick up. It is good to go, and it's there. So, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Chris and I are both going to be getting in on this one, and this is going to be a really, really cool boat to jump on. So, stay tuned for more coverage on that. Narrowing on down, though, looking at the Rooster Teeth live stream for everything that we had featured there. Again, it was a really good paneled series of interviews that we had from all sorts of devs. We had a kickoff, literally a kickoff, with some EA Sports titles. We're looking at Madden 19, that's coming to PC as well, and just checking out some of the features that game is going to have in it. This is going to be hitting PS4, Xbox One. I believe it's also coming to PC as of August 10th. This year, so right around the corner. The other one that we had was FIFA 19. That one is right on its way for September 28th of this year. If you were looking to pick that up, part of the trailer footage that was shown here, they had a first look at some of the game's big cover stars. That is Cristiano Ronaldo and also Neymar Jr. You see them right there up on the main cover arts and everything. The part of the press release EA talked about for this one is that the single-player campaign mode, it's called the Journey, is going to return for a finale here. And also the Alex Hunter storyline that started up in FIFA 17, I believe. That's called the Journey of Champions, you're going to be able to continue on with that as well. So again, PC, Xbox One, PS4, with the now Switch equivalent, looking at what we have coming up with this. Now, a big title that we had mentioned in the same breath as Anthem and a couple other big sci-fi games, of course, with alongside Halo Infinite and a few others, was Destiny. The expansion for that, that's Destiny 2 Forsaken. You're going to be able to expect that September 4th of this year. Now, the Rooster Teeth staff got a chance to sit down with the main devs from this, including the community manager. That's David DeGue. And really just gave a really cool rundown on new modes and every cool feature we can look to expect. So some of the biggest news here, if you haven't heard it already, the level cap is being expanded to 50. The power cap is being expanded to 600. You're going to be able to take with you the weaponry and everything else you've been building up with your Destiny campaign, and use that, and also keep developing those weapons and keep growing that too. There are going to be a bunch of new modes. But the one they focused on was especially the competitive co-op Gambit mode. Now, the idea of that is there's going to be various combinations of like enemies and alien hordes for you to deal with, and you're looking for who can catch the fastest kill time. Now, you can do all kinds of stuff to hinder your buddy, throw things in the way of your friends you're racing with, or your opponent. You can spawn different blocks for them. You can try to get them in really bad firefight situations, or heck, even join in and temporarily become the enemy to really screw them over and make sure that they can't get a faster time than you. The really cool feature that's going to be included along with this too is a brand new reclaim feature. Now, I'm not a dedicated Destiny player myself, but I know how nuts it's driven me in other games, progression style games I've played, especially with MMOs and RPGs, where you'll be crafting, or you'll make let's say a bunch of items, then you get one that just spawned perfectly. It's got all the mods and everything you want for it, and you break it on accident, or you sold it to a weird spot or whatever else. To be fair, I think the last time I did that was Diablo 2. I'm extra careful now, but this is stuff that drives people nuts. You know how it is. You get done with a raid or something at 2 a.m. and you're not thinking straight, and you're putting your gear in all kinds of weird places, and you lose it. So the new reclaim feature is going to allow you to get back some of the old dismantled items you have. That's a big deal, and it looks like you'll be able to go back through some of your history a little bit. So if there is something you dismantled that you're just really pissed off about, might get a chance to reclaim it. Also, there are it's a great series of new attacks. 6 new super attacks. One of which that we saw now. The developers, they were very careful not to show us all of these, but they did want us to see at least one. That was the Code of the Missile. It gives you a really powerful dash attack for the Titan. The Hunter was hinted to get better stealth capabilities, and then the Warlock has got a really sick AoE, like a barrier style attack that helps and supports and heals allies that step into it, but can also push enemies away. So those are going to be awesome to add on to all the stuff that you already have and that you're already able to do, and provide some more support for your team and all that. So looks pretty robust. Bungie has, I think, always has a pretty good track record of this stuff. They put a lot of thought into expansions and things like this, and it looks like they are right on track once again with this. So in addition, we had a short rundown with Bethesda. Now, we don't know a whole lot, and they wouldn't go into much detail about it, but we know that they're working on their first truly new IP in like about 20 years at least. It's a next-gen, huge sci-fi title. It's in development. It's going to be called Starfield. It's about all we know about it now, but don't even expect this until we start muttering PS5 and talking about everything else along those lines. For now, if you are big into Elder Scrolls and the rest of those titles, you're going to have plenty to sink your teeth into. Other than that, as well, Days Gone, got a chance to dig into this a bit more. Now, this is great. Chris is the one who first showed me a trailer for this with the massive zombie hordes and all the madness you have to deal with. But We really got a good chance to look at gameplay here with some of the development team and to see what happens with the world and how it interacts with the environment and how that affects your enemies. Now, the crazy part is it turns out that zombies get a power boost at nightfall. So I Am Legend style, you don't want to be outside then. Now, this can actually happen during a firefight. So beware if you're running around freewheeling it in the world. That could really suck. It's going to be a huge world, plenty of exploration. Again, going along with the theme we've seen all E3 here. And almost every building that you run across should be pretty explorable, and you'll have a ton of different ways to deal with the different types of hordes that you run across. But this looks wild. This is what fast, scary, stampeding zombies would be like. So if that is your cup of tea, keep a very close eye on this one. I do want to also highlight something really neat in terms of hardware. This really has not been a big E3 for hardware, but there was a really cool accessibility controller. The Rooster Teeth staff had an interview with James Shields, that's the Xbox product marketing manager. This is over a brand new controller that can be expected on Xbox and PC, and you can dig this one up if you look a little bit for it. It's codenamed Project Z. Now, this controller is especially for disabled and for gamers who obviously just can't do the same thing you and I could. With just using a traditional gamepad or traditional mouse and keyboard. It's got a couple of really large like A and B pads, and then like a regular size like D-pad on the left, and the huge buttons are you can program those, and basically you can set functions to each one of them. There's a row you have for like power, USB, directional arrows, and of course the Xbox logo, and those are all like light up icons that can guide you easily along it. This is going to support a micro USB for charging and programming, and you also get an audio input on the headphones. But it was really cool to see this and to see more of these coming out. I know at a few combo breakers ago, there was some talk about this for those in the FGC who really want to get into fighting games but have disabilities that just prevent them from doing so, and to get a controller that allows them to access all of this and play something I think we take for granted. That's fantastic, and it's always good to see companies trying to keep this stuff in mind, because it's something really easy to overlook that I just really don't see a whole lot of people paying attention to. So good on you, Microsoft. Keep up the good work, and I hope we see a ton more from that. Otherwise, that is going to do it for this day of roundups. No real huge announcements besides Soul Calibur. Really excited about that. Of course, the details in Destiny, some of the sports games we saw, and more on Just Cause and some of those other games that we just seen trailers for. But the rest of that info has not changed. I will be looking carefully for other news and what else we can expect to close out E3. For now, though, thank you all for tuning back in to listen. We'll catch you again soon. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, if there's anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but if great, if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.